He's going bye-bye, lady.
But he's so cute.
It is Halloween, aka Samhain. This is the perfect time to do this video. So in this video, guys, we're going to be exploring Nephilims, clowns. So briefly, if we zoom back into history, there was obviously some genetic mutation that occurred. For example, in biblical texts, they refer to these genetic mutations as Nephilims, also known as giants. It is not a coincidence that there is an American football team called the New York Giants, all right? Before we decode this entire team, I want to talk about the term giants and the correlation between giants in America. A book had popped up on Google, and the book's entitled The Ancient Giants Who Ruled America, okay? Now, I don't know what this book is about. All I know is the cover is symbolic. It's symbolic towards what is behind this entire matrix, in a sense. So that team, the New York Giants, their colors just so happen to be red, blue, and white. If you guys do not already know this, the red and blue are in reference towards the two Freemason lodges. And before I move on, I just want to say that I'm not religious or any sort. I'm just using biblical, deeply encoded information to explain this. The red and blue also symbolizes the two different bloodlines, as you guys can see right here. So in the Bible, they have a character named Adam, and Adam was regarded as the first man created. So this book is allegorical. Of course, it has multiple meanings. This is just another meaning in reference towards this genetic mutation clown bloodline. There are speculations that Cain is from Lucifer, the serpent. He is the serpent bloodline, while Abel is the human bloodline, the pure human bloodline. And this is where you get the story that takes place in Genesis of the two brothers fighting. This can symbolize the war between the two bloodlines, all right? And this is where people get the whole reptilian thing from. Blue representing the blue bloods, aka the reptilians or the genetic mutations, while red symbolizes the human. I guess you can say the pure-blooded human. That's where you get these odd, archaic sayings of people saying that they are a full-blooded or a red-blooded American. And ironically, the UK flag and the American flag both have the red, white, and the blue. And what do these two countries have in common is the mixed multitude of people of different ethnic backgrounds, okay? So let's look at the physical description of Nephilim / giants. So they were pale-faced, they had red hair, they were taller and bigger than the average human, and they exhibited animalistic behavior and were cannibals, which I'm going to talk about that further into this video, why that's an important detail. And right here is a picture, a drawing of a Nephilim and a clown. So they exhibit similar characteristics. And there's even a description in the book of Enoch. Beyond this description that's in the book of Enoch, there also has been artifacts from these Nephilims that were around, okay? And in this description, basically Enoch is describing when he first seen Noah. There's most likely, in my opinion, 100% chance that Noah was of the Nephilim bloodline. Like Noah could have been a mixture, in a sense, mixed with the pure human and the Nephilims, okay? So he could have been a complete mixture, and that's why he's describing him like this. And I had seen on Quora someone connecting Nephilims to vampires, and that connects to what I'm going to talk about later with the emotional standpoint and the psychological standpoint of these Nephilims, jokers, jesters, mimes. The list goes on. They have this emotional disorder inside of them. So we see that the clown and the Nephilim look very similar. One thing to point out is their obnoxious big feet. The obnoxious big feet highlights how tall they were And you can kind of see with trends that celebrities do or promote, they're always promoting, especially with this new style of dressing that they're subliminally promoting that people aren't really wearing yet but are going to soon be wearing this stuff. They promote these obnoxiously large shoes. They even had these red boots that they're trying to push on people that are just super huge, and people are actually buying this stuff. People think it's, you know, unconscious people think it's cute. It's part of the NPC download. They're just going to get them. But these shoes that they're making people wear is in reference towards these Nephilims, these clowns, these jesters, these mimes. And we can even look at shoes like Converse, which are obnoxiously large, but if you have a psyop and your eyes are covered and you're unconscious, you would think those shoes are just cool, whatever. But the first time I ever seen them before a trend or anything, I did think they were obnoxiously large, and especially if you see the red ones, the way that they are shaped, the narrowness, how long they are, the circleness of the front of the shoe, you know, it all exhibits this clown thing. And what's going on nowadays is that they're getting us to love clowns, okay? And they've been doing this for a very long time, actually. All these old sayings of, oh, I'm just clowning. Oh, why you clowning that person? Obviously, the way we're using it the way people are using it is in a joking manner. But something tells me that this whole joking thing, this sarcasm and this laughter thing, but in this like sneaky, mischievous way, isn't genuine, and is something that came from them. And I'm going to talk about jokes and stuff further into this video. So right here is the original photo, and they are cannibals, okay? So people need to understand that they are cannibals, and this is where you get the idea of the Joker. So the Joker wears this fake face. Clowns wear fake faces. They paint their face white, okay, very pale, and they paint on an expression. So for example, he's obviously mad here, but he has a smiley face on his face. And this is exhibiting narcissism, which I'm going to talk about further. This mirroring of emotions, this fakeness, because obviously if they by default are cannibalists, they're out to get humans, you know, they're out to cipher energy, cipher the life force from humans. So the best way to hide is in plain sight, basically, and to copy and mimic who you're trying to deceive. And this is what I was talking about in my last video, because I really see that a lot of people want to defend celebrities, but I don't think they're understanding on a conscious standpoint. They're not human, okay? So they are mocking you every time they try to act like a human. So every time they put out a new celebrity, you should be kind of disgusted, because they're mocking your human life. They're mocking your emotions. They're mocking the way you act, your life story. They're mocking it. And if you ever get the eyes to see, which some of you probably have the eyes to see, some of you may not, but if you ever, you'll notice that the celebrities' emotions that they exhibit are not genuine at all. They're actually very fabricated, and there's this sinister thing behind all their emotions. They could be crying about someone dying, but you could still see the laughter on their face, in a sense, like they're not genuine about anything at all. And that's what you can kind of see with the Joker and clowns. So many people fear clowns, okay? The fact that they even have images like this out on the internet, and they want you as a human to dress up as a clown, you know, it's so weird how they do those things and switch it. A lot of people fear clowns. It's like one of their biggest fears, and that's their main objective, is for you to fear them. Their main objective is to scare others, very similar to how Nephilims scared the average humans back then, okay? If the Nephilims were cannibals, They obviously had an agenda to get what they wanted out of the people. So they couldn't just, over time, they couldn't just upfront take a human and eat them and all this other stuff. You know, they had to, of course, gain some ability to draw people into a trap and manipulate them. And that's where we see society today, where people will dress up as a goddamn clown, or people will put a clown as their profile picture, or people will use a clown emojis. Maybe you're a part of the bloodline, and that's why some of y'all are obsessed with clowns. But for the most part, a lot of people fear clowns, and that's a, I guess you can say, a normal feeling towards it, because that fear that could be embedded inside of certain people could be something from a past tense way that the humans felt about the Nephilims. And since they look so similar and they have the same objective, you see children, adults still with that same agonizing fear thousands of years later, okay? So due to their animalistic behavior, they always have this evil intent, okay? And like I said, they may disguise it nowadays, and that's why they use these characters such as celebrities, where they disguise it nowadays, okay? So they disguise it with entertainment and doing all this stuff, making it seem like they're giving you something and entertaining you, that they're being vulnerable with you, that they're sharing their life with you, but actually they're mocking you and ciphering energy from you in a different format, okay? And they can relatively never be good, in a sense. And as we see, mimes are also a part of this. And the reason why I say that mimes are a distraction is because if you ever seen the depiction of a mime, a person could be minding their business and a mime will pop up and basically distract them and like mimic their emotions, do this type of mirroring thing, okay? And they do a lot of symbolism, the black and white checkerboard, all of that symbolism that you see celebrities doing, mimes do the same thing. So we see there's a correlation between celebrities, these Nephilims, these clowns, mimes, jokers, jesters. There's a correlation between all of these things. It comes down to a point where they're all the same entity. And the painting the face is a representation of a mask that they're wearing, covering up their true intent. So mimes basically mimic. They mimic your emotion. They stand in front of you and they mimic you. And if you're unconscious, you really don't notice that they're mimicking you because you're not consciously aware of your own emotions. So they're mimicking the emotions that, whether the emotion that you're exhibiting or the ones that you're kind of trying to hide, they mimic them. And this is full-blown narcissism, okay? Wearing this mask, because narcissists wear many masks, and I'm not talking about a physical mask, I'm talking about a emotional mask. They put on a mask and they mask whoever is in front of them. So if you're a happy-go-lucky person, they're gonna put on a happy-go-lucky mask because they don't have emotions of their own. If you're a sad person, they're gonna put on a sad mask because they don't have emotions of their own. And beneath all of this is a dark, empty void, soulless, dark hole that has nothing else to offer to life itself, that is ciphering energy from you, okay? So we see that with this description of mimes. Mimes mimic emotions for an empathetic response. The empathetic response that you give is the energy. You're giving them energy. So this is a profession for narcissism. At the end of the day, they go out and they mirror you, and the more you keep reacting, the more they get from the situation, because your reactions, your emotions are energy charges, whether they're negative or they're positive. To these things, it's energy at the end of the day. They don't care. And this is the same thing that celebrities do. They're mimicking you guys to get energy from you, okay? So when you see them do a psyop or have like drama going on, no matter what response you give to it, your energetic response is yielding them energy. your comments, your liking of the post, your resharing, you're talking about it. All of that is yielding energy at the end of the day, and that's all they care about. That's what you call an energy harvest, okay? And so we see this common denominator between all these different labels, which are the same entity, that are ciphering energy from people. They're taking the true human's energy, okay, with their psyops and their games. And this is why I said that it's no longer this outward animalistic behavior that this bloodline is exhibiting. It's more of a sneak attack where it's like you're playing chess, okay? Now, on the topic of chess, we see that moms are always dressed in black and white. For example, right here, black and white checkerboard on the background. They even got people to wear black and white checkerboard Vans. Come on now. This is the sneak attacks that I'm talking about. I have a video from 2 years ago when I first started my channel where I talked about the mosaic checkerboard floor. Again, the mosaic checkerboard floor, that's referring to Freemasonry. I just talked about the two bloodlines and how it's red and blue, and then in Freemasonry, ironically, they have the red and blue lodges. And in Freemasonry, there's also the mosaic checkerboard floor. Mosaic, Moses, come on, it's all connected. So this checkerboard floor, in my opinion, I still relatively have the same opinion that I did 2 years ago. They are playing a game, okay? They are very strategic. Everything that they do is not loosey-goosey, it's not random, it's not genuine, it's not just, oh, a little mistake or something that they do randomly. Everything that they do is on purpose, and people need to wrap their heads around that. Anytime they do some type of humiliation thing, never think that that is done unconsciously or that that is done just by free nature. No, that is done through a strategic plan. It is strategically plotted out to be done. So whenever you see these humiliation rituals, whether it's them basically putting nasty stuff out there about themselves or going to jail or just looking terrible on purpose, these things are purposely done. The humiliations are purposely done. If you guys were to watch a movie that had a clown in it, and not a scary movie, but a movie that has a clown in it, the clown is always getting humiliated. So we see, like in a Joker, the humiliation rituals that were going on, okay? We see in all of these movies, all of these shows where there's a clown being shown, there's some type of humiliation that must be followed. And we see that in Freemasonry, they also had this like humiliation thing that they do, like where they humiliate the person. And this is all just to balance out karma at the end of the day so things can be on their side, and also to distract you as a human so you can fall for the humiliation tactic that they're doing to themselves, laugh at them, and now they get the right to keep mocking you and keep doing all the things that they can to you. They can continue the psyop through you falling for the humiliation rituals and contributing to the humiliation rituals. I see so many people fall for these things. For example, like whenever they put a quote unquote male character in a dress, or like when they make the Lil Nas X character, everybody fell for that psyop, contributing to that psyop, giving up all their energy to it, laughing, joking, etc. And guess what happens? When you do that, all you're doing is feeding some type of energetic bank where they're able to keep the psyops going, to keep fooling you and conning you while you build up your karma, but they're getting their karma by purposely humiliating themselves, okay? But people who are just in these comment sections are making these remarks and stuff like that are just building up debt, you know, karmic debt, and they're not understanding that because they're unconsciously living. And it's a game that is being played, and you can really see that a lot of people are asleep now, that they've played the game to the T, where a lot of people are unconsciously aware. A lot of people are giving in to all the psyopses, all the fakeness. It's so sick that some people are even acting like them. Some people are literally acting like clowns. Think about that. So this just shows that everything is strategic, you know, and they still exhibit these animalistic behaviors because they can only tend to your animalistic nature because, of course, you're in this 3D body, which is animalistic based because it's a low dimension. Like the body is low dimension, right? But you have something special. Some of you have something special, and they can only offer the 3D. They can only offer the flesh. They can only keep promoting sexual content. They can only keep promoting violence, killing. They can only keep promoting blockages that'll keep blocking your chakra. They can only keep promoting negative things that will keep you at a low vibration, you know? So when it comes down to it, is that people need to understand this. And the whole joking thing, like roasting, mocking, all that stuff, man, people don't realize where that stems from, and that stems from them. And I could just imagine it in my mind right now. The Nephilims back in the day probably just roasting and just doing some wild stuff, you know? And then influencing. Influence is so powerful. Through that, they influenced humans to act like that. And it's all some type of weird conning, you know, getting over on the person that they're conning at the end of the day. Let's talk about a few riddles. So there's the Royal Order of Jesters, okay? What does that sound like? I'll tell you. The Jesuit Order, okay? And if you guys know my videos, when I do gematria, most of the times I'm connecting the Jesuit Order to all the stuff that happens, all these psyopses, these events, and it always connects because they're behind it all. But I just thought that was an insane thing, how they're connected. So let's get into some gematria. Clown and genetic mutation both equal 68 in the reduction and reverse cipher. Clown matches to energy harvest. I just told you guys all about the energy harvest using humiliation, all these fake emotions to harvest energy from you. That's the main goal. Genetic mutation, because they are a genetic mutation. No one really questions, where did this whole idea of this clown come from? Yeah, comes from a genetic mutation. Comes from the Nephilims. And then we see that Illuminati matches to this, okay? And humiliation matches to this with 67. Everything's about humiliation. There is a video on our Patreon about cartoons, and Conscious X played a clip of when Homer joined basically a secret society, more so like Freemasonry, and basically they did like this humiliation thing, and then he got all these perks, all these things. Fake matches to clown. Because they're always faking, they're faking their emotions, they're conning you to get on top, they're conning everybody to get on top. TikTok matches to clown with 23 because everybody on there is just idiotic. That's just the main thing. All of that is just to distract you. Like if you're on there, you're being distracted. I don't care what you're consuming on there. Anything on there is a big distraction. It's in its name. TikTok is taking your time away. Get off of it. You know, go somewhere else. And then agenda equals 23. All agendas are made by the clowns. All right. And on the topic of the checkerboard floor and these celebrities, like I said in that video 2 years ago, they're pawns, okay? And I even played chess. Chess with you guys. I showed you guys an example, and I'll just explain the example briefly. You know, basically I had a checkerboard floor, and I did an example with a character like Dirk. So let's say that the white resembles good and the black resembles bad, or whichever way you want to put it, okay? And basically I put an initial of Dirk's name, the D, on the white part, and I showed you guys that that is when they decide to do something nice, okay? They decide to con you by doing something nice, like make a positive song every blue moon, or, you know, do something grandiose, a grandiose gesture that just cons you to think that they're good. And then the next thing you know, they're on the black, Oh, they're on the block. And guess what they're doing? They're doing something outrageous, pushing some massive agenda, confusing you, putting you in cognitive dissonance. Come on now. They do this all the time, and this is with every single one. And you can start to see the agenda. You could start to see the game that they play. It's all a game. It's all a game with them. I'm about to show you guys all these photos of these celebrities wearing or being around a clown, okay? Either they're wearing clown makeup, a clown outfit, or they're around a clown. There was so many celebrities involved with clowns. It's insane. This could be an entire series because it's insane how much they're involved with clowns. And this involvement with the clowns, they're repping the genetic mutation, they're repping the deception, because I think clowns and mimes, they represent deception and deceit. You know, all their little jokes and everything, they disguise things with comedy and laughter to just keep you asleep, and that's the main objective. So I do think that celebrities are clowns without the painted face, the obvious costume. They are clowns that are infiltrating in whatever they're made to be like. So if there's a quote unquote black celebrity that's a rapper, they're infiltrating in the whole life of someone who is quote unquote black, okay? And if there's a Latin celebrity, they're infiltrating with the whole idea of being Latin descent and the whole lifestyle. It's all fake. And so in a sense, that's where you get the thing of blackface and all this other stuff. It's all them showing that they're mocking the human experience. They're mocking being a human. They're mocking being you. And through the mocking, they can influence you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I mean, there's so much behind this that it's insane. So thank you. Recently, Conscious X and I have released merch. It is available on our website, divinesade.com. We offer free shipping on all items. Currently, we have a total of 7 items. These are all of our foundation items, and we plan to release more as time goes on. We have a total of 3 t-shirts, 3 mugs, and a notebook for a purchase. All items include dope, spiritual, sacred designs. The t-shirts are made out of cotton and are available in 6 sizes, while the mugs are BPA and lead free. Buying our merch directly supports us and helps us continue creating content on YouTube. Thank you all for your support. We appreciate each and every one of you.